Hi there, extraordinary thinkers. Lee Travathan here. So my video today is probably, again, not one of the normal kind that I do, but we need to do it right now. So I take questions from my Facebook page. Those of you who have watched any of these other videos know that. And in lieu of recent happenings, one of the questions that I got, and again, based on a video I did here recently, which I'll put down in the description below, one of the questions I got was, how do I continue to love people that have been a part of the recent Capitol insurgents? So I don't want to go off on this too much because I've already done 2 videos in regards to how I'm dealing with this, but I did want to address some options for other people. So for me personally, I had friends and family members who supported the ideas, I will say, around this coup. And I had friends directly who very directly supported it, and in fact were part of making sure people got there and making sure that they were prepared to fight, blah, blah, blah. And if you want to know more about that, it's in the most recent 2 videos. So this really is about ordinary thinking. Even though the question was about, loving people that you feel have kind of, in a way, betrayed you by betraying their country. So this is a difficult thing. And trust me, I've been dealing with it. To see my own family members supporting things that I know are seditious, I guess you would say, and seeing them, including friends too, I should say the same thing here, seeing them believe things that are clearly not true. Clearly not true. Things that have been investigated and proven wrong, that never were true. It's too bad that we even had to spend money on investigations on this. But the question is, how can they be so gullible? Well, the trick to this is anyone can be. Anyone can be. So it's important to know any backstory. So what I mean by that is, I'm going to give you an example. This is an example that I learned when I was studying to be a psychologist, and it's a good one. So let's say a kid wakes up in the middle of the night, say 2 in the morning, and they're thirsty. They're upstairs, the water's downstairs, they're little people. Little people can't reach the sink or the glasses, so they're thirsty. So they wake up and they go downstairs because they hear the TV is on. So they go and they say to the parent, let's say in this case, we'll just say daddy, could be mommy too, but just we'll use it that. Daddy, I'm thirsty, I need to get a drink. So daddy's tired, daddy's sitting on the couch, daddy's watching TV, daddy doesn't want to get up. So daddy says, you know what, you're not thirsty, you don't need a drink, go back to bed. That's called gaslighting right there. That's where the child is completely negated and the child's needs are negated. Where perhaps the reality could be the dad just doesn't want to get up. He doesn't want to get up, he doesn't want to be bothered. So instead of saying, I don't want to get up and be bothered, or just instead of just being a dad and getting up and getting your child a drink, he gaslights the child. So now what's the child feeling? What do you mean? Oh, am I thirsty? I don't know now. Am I thirsty? I'm confused now. Now the child starts to get the awareness of self diminishing. They start to get this pattern going. And so now, when they do get thirsty, they hesitate going and saying anything about it because, one, excuse me, they don't feel they're going to be acknowledged, and two, they are afraid that if they speak out, they're going to get in trouble. Dad's going to be mad or whatever. And three, and the most important one, they've been gaslighted. So now they're not really sure if they're thirsty at all. Now, I know this to some people, they go, oh, you're exaggerating, Lee. Well, I'm exaggerating to make a point. So when we look at people in our lives that we know have believed lies, and those lies have been proven to be lies, but they're still like, fanning the flames of the lies, and, they're laughing at us and they're making fun of us because they think we're stupid and all this, you just have to realize everybody has a backstory. Every single person on this planet has some sort of a backstory. And if people have been gaslighted before, it was so easy for them to be gullible when they're being gaslighted in a big way, like a really big way. So try not to be so condemning of some of the people that you feel are gullible, because you don't know the backstory in most cases. Now, I know in my household, I had a stepmother. My dad didn't do this that I can ever remember, but I know my stepmother very often invalidated pretty much anything I said. And so I know I was being gaslighted, because I would say, well, here's how I feel, and I'd hear, no, you don't. Here's what I think. No, you don't. Like, I remember once somebody said to me, oh, because I always thought I was extremely ugly. If you've seen some of my other videos, you might have seen me say that, but I always thought I was extremely ugly. And kids made fun of me and called me names and stuff. So I just thought, boy, I must be like the ugliest kid on the earth. And because kids were telling me I was, but I wasn't strong enough or old enough to realize that wasn't true. And I remember someone from my dad was a preacher, and someone from my dad's church, while we were in a car together at one point, reached over and patted my leg and said to me, you're such a beautiful girl. And I just was shocked by that. I thought, what's she talking? And then I'm looking around like, is my sister here? Is there somebody? It's like, was she talking to me? And I did realize she was talking to me. And to this day, I still remember that woman and her face. I don't remember her name, but I remember that incident. And I said to my stepmother later in the day, I said, oh, this woman, explained, at the time I knew her name, of course, she told me that she thought I was pretty. And my stepmother's reaction was, well, who do you think you are, Miss Astor? You can't win with people like that. So again, that was another form of gaslighting and invalidation. So when you're seeing people in close proximity to you and you're saying to yourself, how could they have been so gullible? Just remember that if you're taught from a little person that what you think isn't real and what you feel isn't real and what you see isn't real, you doubt yourself. So when somebody comes along and starts talking to you about, these people over here are evil, these evil Democrats and blah, 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 or however it comes across, Hillary Clinton's running a pedophile ring in the basement of a pizza place. It gets kind of crazy. But the same is true on the other end. Democrats saying, oh, those evil Republicans. This is all due to getting information that supports these ideas. Well, if you've been gaslighted and you don't check the facts, you don't study the evidence, it's very easy to allow yourself to just get sucked in. So on the question of how do you continue to love people that you feel betrayed the country by supporting the people who were a part of all this, it really is your choice. However, just remember, life is a boomerang. Life is a boomerang. So words matter, thoughts matter. So if you are putting out anything other than trying to understand, then you're not going to be understood, because what you're putting out is is not going to boomerang back to you in a good way. So just remember that life is a boomerang. So be careful about going into extreme judgment. Like I had someone say to me today, you know, that they hate these family members who made fun of them and that just couldn't make any, they couldn't see the truth and it was slapped right in their face. Well, be a little mindful about that, because it can boomerang back on you. So someone said, do you hate these people that you're letting go of? And no. In fact, I love them very much. Do I want them in my life still? Not at this point, no. It's hard for me to support them knowing that they supported this attempted coup. I can't do that. That goes against my sense of self. So maybe someday, you know, if this all kind of levels out and they come back and say, hey, I want to reconnect, I'll see where they're at and I'll see where I'm at, and then maybe that'll happen. We'll see. But try not to be so extremely judgmental. For one, you don't really know the backstory of a lot of these people. I can tell you that one of my friends who I have let go of, who was in the military, honestly and truly, with all of his heart and all of his soul, and he was a part of organizing this whole thing, believed, absolutely believed 100% that he was doing the right thing, that he took an oath to protect this country. He believed he was protecting this country. He saw himself as a patriot and not a terrorist. So you got to understand that people are going to have their own perceptions, and you know, we all just have to accept that across the board. It's true everywhere in our lives. But you judging people as being, you know, evil, it's only going to boomerang back on you. Now, in my last, somebody commented on this today, in my last video, I did say the word lunatic. Well, that comes from an absolutely therapeutic evaluation, having been in the field for over 40 years. Yeah, the definition of a lunatic certainly fits the situation I was talking about. So that's not a judgment of this is a good or bad person. That's a judgment call, you could say, on an evaluation. Like, is he or is he not? Well, yeah, he's not well. So again, that's not a judgment of good or bad, right or wrong. It's just facts are facts. And facts are important and words are important. So that's kind of me answering the question that was posed. And it's a hard question. It is a hard question, and I don't judge my family members that have been supportive of the lies that have been told and the craziness that has gone on. I don't wish them harm. I don't hate them. I don't wish them harm. Do I think that they're bad people? That was another question. I think they are people who have bought into some ideas that are going to be bad for them, meaning toxic for them. So my thing is, and I say this often, is I don't feel that you can maintain a vibration that's strong and positive and healthy and peaceful and then be confronted by people that you care about with all this stuff that we're seeing, this sedition and this craziness and these lies and all this stuff. And that's what it is. So someone said to me today, well, that's just your opinion, Lee. Well, if the lie is proven to be a lie, it's a lie. Okay? If someone creates an act against our Constitution, against our Capitol building, against our country, that's sedition. So it's not like this is my opinion. It is what it is. The sky is blue. I don't know if you know that, but the sky is blue and the earth is round. These are provable things. So I laugh about this, but it all comes down to self-honor and honoring others to the best of your ability. So I can't be supportive of people that I feel are not supportive of our country. And if I did so, I would be dishonoring them, and I'd be dishonoring myself because I wouldn't be honest with them or myself. So the question was, you know, how do you continue to love people that you feel have betrayed you and betrayed your country? And I'm just going to say something that some won't like, but my read on that is, you know, you can still love the person, but you don't have to love what they're doing. However, you have no choice but to accept what they're doing. You also have a choice not to accept the friendship anymore, if that's your choice. But if you are going to remain friends with these people, just be careful. Just be careful, you know. Just be careful. And that's all I can say on that without getting people really upset with me. But just be careful. Because, well, I will just say this part. You don't always know what people are capable of. And I actually had a friend of mine who was putting out that he thought certain types of people should be terminated, as in killed. And I did report this person to the FBI. And I did that not because I don't like them or I think they're bad people or anything like that. It's just that what they were doing was not going to be helpful. And in fact, it was going to be dangerous because the people they were talking about were people like me. They didn't even realize it. They're friends of mine, and they didn't even realize that they were talking about people like me. So, you know, in a moment of fury, something bad could happen to me. I don't know. Like the friendship goes away and just got to get the job done thing. So anyway, that's my take. I did want to mention again my most recent book, because if you read this book, and people who have read this book have said this to me in the last couple of days, if you read this book, and I'll put the link below, it helps you understand how important and how valuable your thoughts are and why you need to choose them carefully. One of the things we saw happen in this act of sedition was that people were not choosing their thoughts at all. It was just knee-jerk reactions. In fact, it was mob rule. They weren't even aware. They were just in the moment, you know, just enthralled by the idea. So I would suggest you get the book and read it. If you don't like it, pitch it across the room. But if you do like it, share it with your friends. And until next time, Lee Travathan signing out. Take good care. Be safe. Stay well. Bye.